Defi Kingdoms.
Welcome, jewelers. Welcome all to another episode here of the Jewelers Live DeFi Kingdoms podcast. My name is Mega. As always here, we're joined by good friends Dags and Trade. Trade, we'll start with you. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Coming off the last stream, Hastic's intern on. We digged into a lot of legal cases and all that. It was pretty fun. Karate Combat, we did a review of that. Obviously, I did a live stream reaction of it. It's just a lot of stuff happening this week. Been a lot of fun. And I'm catching a little bit of FOMO for the honk token. So that's where I'm at right now, man. I got the itch.
The chat itself is already talking honk. We may have to talk a little bit of honk here today, but we got a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Dags, how you feeling? It's been an action-packed week. What are you feeling?
Oh, dude, I had like the brand ready. I was ready to hit the intro video. I was like, if he doesn't play that intro video, but then I remembered you're a damn professional, and I just clicked back to comments, and sure as shit, the intro went through. So
again, big shout out to Bacon, Eggs, and Cheese joining us last week. We're gonna have to have him on as the whole squad here when Trade is there as well. That'll be a lot of fun. But
hang on, time out. Beef is talking about my shirt, making fun of because I'm dressed like a chump. Here,
use your weapon.
There you go.
Chat down below which weapon you're choosing there. But in the meantime, we're going to cover a lot of stuff here, boys. We're going to cover Karate Combat, like Trade said. We're going to cover RocBocs, a lot of stuff that we were unable to talk about last week, even though we had a 3-hour stream there, Dags. We kind of split the shifts, and we barely talked.
Trade's doing that right now.
Yeah. We barely talk RocBocs. We're going to get Trade's opinion of RocBocs. It should be coming here in the near future, boys. Like we said, we got our president and one of the greatest influencers, DeFi Kingdoms influencers, especially Crypto Grady himself fighting in the ring. We'll talk a little bit about that and a bunch of other stuff. Honk, like you said, just a whole bunch of cool stuff going on in the ecosystem. Boys, is there anything you guys want to say first off before we jump straight into things?
Yeah, the fights. Well, yesterday was just crazy because it was like the closer to the Mythic Squad tournament, and I'm like switching between the Mythic Squad stream and then like Trade Room stream, and I'm like, I don't know how to balance two streams, and then like we went straight into the fights, and then Sergeant had a crazy stream. That was the craziest stream I think I've ever been on. And I think a lot of it was the amount of alcohol that people consumed during the fights, because that's what you do when fights are on.
Of course.
And then it just led to a complete like clusterfuck of a stream. That was so fun. Yesterday was nuts.
Because we probably won't like go in depth, of course, on the karate combat fights, but Trade, I want to get your opinion in just a second. You know, talking on just the things that we're going to talk about, there's so many things I left out. I want to give a shout out to the Mythic Squad on hosting a fantastic finals of the tournament. It was smoothly done. There is a winner. We have a winner crowned based on points and everything, all encompassing. Oh, cool comes out crowned with the champion. We have Jewelers Joust and Pink Slip duels coming when duels goes live. So some cool stuff there. But Trade, to close out here, you know, kind of the fights here, you know, Dreamer was going crazy, throwing some off the wall, you know, Supermans. But, you know, the last punch hit, of course, but he took it like a man, and he did knock down to the floor, though, and took the L. What's your whole opinion of, you know, your president here getting up there fighting for DFK?
Listen, there were a lot of great fights on the slab, but to see that the IFC Influencers Fight Club got the crowd to say, "Uno más, uno más, uno más," that was the ultimate highlight, where I was like, ding! Okay, UFC Fight Pass, Karate Club, and random Influencers Fighters Clubs when the times are right, like Ben freaking Armstrong throwing haymakers that made the entire thing. Look, 1.4 million views on Twitter alone for Karate Combat, with having the Crypto Bros at the end of it.
Mm-hmm. And DeFi Kingdoms on the mat.
1.6 in 24 hours. It's done. Partnership locked in. We're growing with the fighting sport, esports, crypto, blockchain, GameFi. What more can you ask for?
Great.
Well, and then go ahead.
No, real quick, Dags. I want to hear what you got to say.
Oh, and the way they're just casually throwing down, like, oh, and our token holders, blah blah blah. It's like, you know, maybe some fights are going to be where to get tickets, you got to have like X amount of karate token or something.
Could
be. It'll be like our token holder fights, and that'll just become a thing.
Yeah, I mean, we hold, of course, a little bit of karate based on some of these last airdrops, these gi airdrops, and even you get 88 for signing up. So go do it today with Karate Combat.
They still have that?
Yeah, I think it's every account you make there. So, you know, Grady fought his ass off. Crypto Crow, who just bought some Gen Zeros recently in the DeFi Kingdom space, you know, huge knockout from that fight was insane. And BitBoy, man, BitBoy brought the energy. BitBoy brought the stare. BitBoy was determined, man. That was one of the crazy. Like, I don't watch a ton of combat sports, but I do watch some of the good fights. You know what I mean? The specials. And BitBoy, man, that was the craziest thing I've ever seen, honestly. BitBoy was on a mission, man. He was fighting for something more than I think just Bitcoin in the space, man. It was crazy. But, you know, great event overall, great marketing, I think, for DeFi Kingdoms. And overall, Dreamer's all right. All the boys are all right. Just a few bumps and scratches, nothing too bad there. But
no, Grady has freaking Montezuma's revenge. Is it insensitive to say that? I don't know. That's just what he called it. So, like, he was, and I kind of saw it when he got into the pit. Like, he looked kind of wobbly, and I was like, people were just saying like something's wrong.
Yeah, well, he was sick, like you said. Yeah, I want to.
What a freaking warrior!
Straight. Grady said he was sick, so you know that does affect your stamina a little bit. So
you got to do it.
Shoot. But he came out firing. You know, he tried to attack, I think, for a little bit, but you know that stamina kind of got to him, and
He was a
It is what it
warrior.
is.
He was a warrior.
Mhm.
He did his
He was a
thing.
warrior for sure. He was a warrior.
I like the stance and the jab, right? The jab was powerful. Jab was really the one way he could possibly get a. There's jab knockouts, but sickness or not, at the end of the day, defense got to get better. Because the other individual who the commentators, said that he's had at least 3 or 4 fights,
Yeah.
was ready and had control. So I'd love to see Grady work on his defense, less on his offense, because I know he has power. I know Grady has knockout power.
And he can
Right,
take a
but
hit too. Like the knockout blow wasn't the first hit.
he wanted his blood on the car mats, and by golly, that happened. So he
It
lived up to
happened.
everything he said he would do.
It happened, and he said, about that jab. Usually, that jab lands for him. He was saying so. His opponent there played well, fought well, and came out with the dub. But Grady fought hard as for sure. It was a great event overall. Even some of the fights that I caught beforehand, non-IFC, just straight up karate combat, the legitimate, combat sports athletes. I mean, those were pretty heated as well. But let's get into some DeFi Kingdoms here today, boys.
Yes, sir.
We got a lot to talk about, so I want to get straight into it. We do have the RocBocs coming forth. We're going to talk about it, get our opinions here. We saw the trailer about 2 weeks back now, week and a half at this point. The dev demo, definitely check that out if you haven't already. We're going to be facing the RocBocs. It's another pet just turned into a mob with some crazy, crazy abilities. Boys, what are we thinking?
I mean, they showed us easy mode, right? The dev mode, they put it on easy mode. So I'm excited to see what they're hiding from us. When they showed, I think it was the Mama Rock jumping up and doing that wind move that hit like 3 different people. I was like, oh man, is that blinding winds? But then it slowed instead of blinded. Because I mean, they're trying. I think the coolest thing about this is I think they're just starting to get ready to feed us some actives and passives, and I am a fiend for that shit. I might not have any of those purple traits on heroes that I like, but it doesn't stop me from being obsessed with them. So,
goddamn right. Trade, how you feeling? Are you ready for the level 12? Recommended level 12 bad mother cluckers here.
Yeah, I mean, the active and the passive traits, interesting to see Dags taking that. That's something that could possibly drop with this. I mean, that would be crazy. That's bold. But for me, it's like, okay, boars, chickens, really very similar. I call these the combat testing grounds. Like this is the combat testing ground. Let's get more analytics. Let's get our things together. But the series of equipment and stuff that's dropping, my whole thing is mega. Am I ready for level 12? I still don't know who the hell this basic codex is that's gonna drop. Okay, I still have people stuck on 10 and 11. I got my berserkers, I got my seers. I'm like, who the hell am I using my mushrooms for? And am I just gonna say screw it and go buy some honk, right? Because I still don't know. But yeah, it's very exciting. I just want to know what special codex is there, and I'd love to figure out how to use my warriors better, because I just dark summoned a warrior that has stun and efficient. And could level up to 11. So this is a public service announcement. I need some sort of guidance.
Yes, sir.
With, how to prep that guy, because I don't know how to use the warriors yet, and I'm working on that. But super excited for this. Recently put out my best paladin in the boar hunts with a gore sword and doing fantastic. So equipment drop is super important, and the new equipment that's going to be dropping for these V2s is going to be exciting to see.
Those non-codex heroes, you equip an item to them and they start doing some damage, to be honest. So I can't wait. I can't wait for some of these other classes to get inbound. We're not going to have the classes on drop, it sounds like. But like you guys are kind of alluding to, the traits are coming. The traits are coming. It seems like we're setting the pace for, maybe the next event after this, the third Void Hunt. Maybe in between that, maybe somewhere earlier that, somewhere earlier that, a little patch. I went through it kind of at the tail end of the stream with Bacon last week. of all the actives and passives, and there's not many that we're really missing the mechanic of. And when you really think about it, like Toxic is one of the ones we are kind of missing that hasn't really shown yet. But Toxic is truly just a bleed on steroids. You know what I mean? It's a bleed that doesn't get procced again. It's a bleed that just gets progressively worse and worse over time. It's a poison that gets worse and worse over time. And if you don't treat it, you will get fucked. You will get severely damaged each and every turn. And I'm pretty sure it's endless, if I'm not mistaken, until you cleanse it.
Cleanse it. That was insane that they just said, like, oh, it gets stronger as you go. Mm-hmm. Like, I guess I would have known if I knew how to read. But
yeah, that was one big thing. And who was on that again? Was it Workhorse?
That was Workhorse.
Workhorse is telling everyone out here to read. We need to read more. I mean, it's plain in black and white in the text on those actives and passives. Me and you have read through it multiple times, and that is kind of why I'm a big Toxic maxi. Poison Blade, Toxic, especially certain damage classes. Each time you can proc a Toxic is pretty huge. Workhorse gave some alpha in there as well. What's the middle archer ability on the left tree? The blue one that spreads across multiple people. Each one of those archer hits, or for example, each barrage hit procs Toxic potentially, gives you a chance to poison. So you could poison them. And again, I don't know if it's I don't know if you can stack it multiple times.
Flurry of blows with the warrior.
Yeah, exactly. Hits. That one as well. Any of those multi-hit moves are going to be huge with Toxic and any of those active passives. Expect those soon. I'm really hoping that's going to change up the pace of gameplay.
Yeah, which makes me happy that my Gen 0 pair, besides, I think it's Intimidation is one of their skills, and the other one is Stalwart. I think it's Stalwart. It's the poison resistance one. So I'm pretty damn happy about that right now. So
for sure,
a poison tank.
You were on Sarge this week, Dags. Candor Gander, of course. All beef aside, there has been some sort of peace. At least temporarily, whether permanently or temporarily, there is some peace in the realm, and I do like to see that. But Bolon was a great show overall. Definitely check it out if you haven't watched that last Candor episode. Right during Karate Combat, I hopped in after the event, and they were talking some DFK, of course, and it was some good stuff. But Bolon was mentioning again, talking about the two-handed weapons. It looks like we're getting a lot of the equipment. First off, they said is equipment we don't have yet, so I'm really expecting armor. They've already mentioned two-handed weapons. I think there's 7 total items. Do you guys have any other ideas of what we might be getting that's new that we don't have already?
Jade, you want to go first?
No. Dex, go ahead.
So I think there's going to be like non-potion consumables. I think that's kind of one thing that like is a huge RPG element that we're forgetting about. Like having like a cross or something that you burn and it gives you like protection against undead for X amount of turns. I think we might potentially be seeing. Excuse me. All right. We might be seeing something like that, like a consumable. I think, equipment is kind of low hanging fruit there, right? Like armor. And then, if we take a look, how many more slots are there, right? We have that hand slot. That's not a secondary offhand weapon, is it? Or is it? Is that just?
I'm gonna go peep the straight up card and.
That's your second shield. Never mind. So we have choices of offhand items, we have weapons, we have armor, and then we have more accessories. So if they're thinking something that's gonna like blow us out of the water, right? If we were like armor, we'd be super excited, obviously. But if it's something we're not expecting, I feel like it has to be some sort of like non-potion consumable. Whether that's like a temporary boost or buff or like a consumable that you use against the opposition. I don't know, like smoke bombs or something to lower enemy accuracy for 50 ticks or something like that.
That's an interesting idea. Very interesting idea. Trey, do you have any further weapons or anything like that you think or would hope for?
Yeah, the consumable is a interesting take. I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah, neither have I.
And the team also they always find a way to drop a trinket where you're like, damn, I gotta think about this for the next 6 months,
Mhm.
type of a thing. But for me, it's just like, all right, we got swords and arrows. Next logical thing are shields. Especially since the knight was one of the first to be released.
Mhm.
So there's going to be opportunity to grab shields out there. Right now, we got some of the best bows and the best swords out there. I'm seeing like 9% chance of bleed on the best, gore bows,
Mhm.
gore swords. So it's like, all right, cool, man. Let's get our shields. Honestly, the knight and the archer probably going to be Chad forever in the
Mhm.
DeFi Kingdoms ecosystem because they were just the first. So you'll have some knights and some archers at level 50. They're still going to fruck up a Dread Knight just because they just had longer to develop within the ecosystem. So I'm looking for some shields. That's it. That's my goal. Come in, watch the new V2s, grab some shields. My knights that are been fighting for the last 3 months that are level 15, 16, 17. Let's get him more brawlic. Let's get him close to brawly as we can. But that's kind of what I'm looking out for. I think shields are a no-brainer.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I like that idea. Shield is huge, armor, shields. I wonder, however, and if you either you guys know, I don't know if they've given any alpha and any hints in any AMAs or anything like that. But if we do get shields, is shields gonna go in this hand slot? Is this your offhand technically? Is this how these work? Do we know exactly how these are coined? Because this is like your
Yeah.
second-hand sword, if you will, if you had two blades, right?
Yeah. So look, that's hand one, and
Hand
then
one.
hand two,
Okay, of
and
course.
then
Right,
weapon
right,
one,
right.
weapon. So if you pull up a knight instead of a bunch of
You
archers, it
don't
becomes
have your knights on
That's
this
a
one.
nasty
how about a
archer. Can we
warrior?
see the stats on that? Can we see the stats on that archer, the mythic?
Oh, is this
Oh
the
my
mythic?
gosh. And can I just say that I won a mythic archer, I believe, and I believe I'm giving that right back to the community.
I think
So
you're
I want to
insane, bro.
throw up. I want to throw up
I
right
think you're
now.
insane,
I
bro.
want to throw up right now that I'm giving away that mythic archer, but it just felt like the right thing to do.
I get it.
I thought you were gonna keep that. I wasn't gonna say anything. I was like, hell yeah, dude, want a mythic archer, and like he's building, he needs to keep that shit. And then you're like, oh yeah, sure, I'll throw it back. I'm like,
I'm a
what?
team player. I'm a
I
team
respect
player.
it, bro. I
You know what I'm
respect it.
saying?
I
Oh my
respect it.
gosh.
We're gonna have to roll the
So
wheel there for that. So
what
everyone,
what is the dex there? I'm sorry. Can I just see the build? Can
you're
you
good.
zoom
This
in a
one's
little bit?
31. This one's
It's hard to
31 on
see.
this, and I
Not
think this
bad.
check this one out though. This one's just for comparison and just to
You
see
got
exactly how
two?
crazy levels can be. I'm pretty sure this one 31 decks at level 12, level 9 36 decks, boys and girls. We don't even have the level 10 mythic boost on this bad boy yet. This thing is leveled very nice. I forget who sold this thing because I know I didn't summon it, but this was a mistake on your part, my friend.
Wow. That's gonna make you a
Beautiful
lot of
art.
money. That's gonna make you a lot of money moving forward.
That's a good archer, and
Yeah.
and you don't even really need. I mean, other than I do have the gore bow, of course, but you don't really need any accuracy items because that's a fairly accurate archer. It's not 100%, of course. You really need that Scully's eye to do it, but
Nice. Nice.
shoot, this is what we got to do, boys. We got to find these heroes and level them up nice and be ready to roll. But yeah. So
What kind of stones are you using on that? Regular, chaos, dex?
this one I didn't summon. Like I said, I bought this one, but it's just a lesser vigor, which is surprising. It did truly just have great growth throughout the levels, and I think I found it at level 7 or 8, or yeah, 7 or 8, and I've been using it in boar hunts to be honest to get that XP boost, and it had that killer dex, so it's been all right. It's been doing okay. It's getting that extra XP, and it's been flying through the levels. So if you have a hero that can somewhat contend, whether it be a tank with a lot of HP and some good stats, or a damage, specifically archers, because other damage dealers you're just doing basic attacks.
So that means when we give this archer away, I mean, this is gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
It's up to Dags and Mega for when we give this away, but this is It
Yeah, we're
has to
gonna
be
give that
special.
away. Dags has the wheel still from last week with everybody added in, and we did have a few extra entries who completed everything and let us know.
I
After the
can't
fact,
remember
we
who
got
else
them back in
besides
there.
Jack.
Let me switch here. I think I do have the archer that we're gonna be giving away in this here wallet.
Yeah, I can't
Let's look
remember
at those
who
stats.
was
Let's
the
look at
guy.
those stats.
Yeah, this one
What?
I've
What
left it
level is
low
it?
though. I haven't leveled it because I wanted people to choose the stones they wanted to use.
Ooh,
So
Is
this
it
one's level
stone?
2, but it's ready to go. It's ready to go for you. So you'll get it level 3.
Ooh.
15, no stone on it.
Okay.
Critical aim
Double
though on a level
foresight.
archer.
Holy shit. That thing has
Cleanse?
critical aim, cleanse, and double
Critical
foresight.
aim?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Can I take
Give
it
this bad
back?
boy away. And you're gonna have to be in the stream. You're gonna have to be in the stream, and this one's gonna be a twist. So you're gonna have to
It
be
won't be
in
tonight.
What's that?
I said it definitely won't be tonight.
Yeah, we don't have to give it away tonight, but do we have the wheel?
I have the wheel.
Because we'll roll it tonight. We'll roll it tonight, but
But
I mean,
if
I'll
you gotta
send it
be
tonight. I
in
don't care.
stream, I mean, I gotta take a lot of people off here, don't I?
If it's what? Oh, you're saying if it's on stream. I see what you mean. Yeah,
No, you got to keep those people in, bro.
Yeah, we got to keep those
Yeah.
people in. Take
Yeah.
back what I say. It's on stream. I forgot.
I
We
mean,
were
I
rolling.
gotta see her. We're giving away in the
This is
Discord.
this is-
Karate Combat.
Yeah.
Karate Combat happened last night. Dreamer got knocked out for the kingdom. We giving this shit away for the kingdom.
For the
tonight.
kingdom. I feel like I'm still damn knocked out. God damn. All right, so let's rock. So we will be giving that away, but again, it is the wheel, not you don't have to be present. So if you gotta go, you gotta go. But no worries.
All right, trade room. Hey, so since you said you're gonna give that archer back, I'll still give you a mythic archer. Okay.
Ooh.
All right, here.
The
Here's
twist.
here's what I'll give you. Let me steal this screen for a second.
Take it.
Here, I will give you one here.
Dex.
Are you
So,
kidding me?
I'll give you this archer since you were so nice and you're giving away a double foresight.
No.
I'll give you this one. So it's level 1. It's wizard
Is this what
subclass.
the jewelers is
It's
about?
a lesser finesse stone, okay?
With the stone. Upgrade. That's an upgrade, Dags. That's an upgrade.
It's got duelist on it and giant slayer plus death mark. So I'll give you that one, okay?
Oh.
No.
Oh.
No. This is
Oh my god.
this is crazy.
So I'll give you that one. Since you're
This is a little bit of
giving that
live
one back.
karma for anyone that doesn't believe in karma. A little bit of
Oh
live
my
action there.
God.
All right, I'll give you that one.
Give and you shall receive.
This might be second to my engagement night. What is going on here?
Wait. We didn't pull it up. Go back.
Pull it up.
You didn't pull it up. Unless you
Pull
just
what up?
did you
I'll
exit
switch
it?
back to you.
Oh, okay.
What?
That's
No,
my
I
bad.
showed him it.
What is
I was watching it,
happening?
but I thought I was watching it on the wrong screen.
No,
What is happening?
this one right here.
What?
Oh, you're good. My bad.
A level 1? I get
It's
to
dark.
carry it as my baby?
And build up
Whoa.
perfectly. We'll have to get those leveling videos out. Somehow.
Yo, someone needs to drop these leveling videos for the archer.
Now this will be a
Bees.
tough one because it's wizard, right? And you only had a lesser finesse stone, so your subclass chance on Dex is only 12.5. So honestly,
I'm gonna be honest, Trade. I level up a lot of archers. My best advice, it's finesse stoned, especially. You got that dex boost. You might miss secondary sometimes, but I'm still running dex crystal. You can do lesser; they're pretty cheap. I do most lessers on level 1 to 4, and then once you're going to 5, do that either middle ground crystal, finesse crystal, or greater crystal. But greater crystals are too expensive, honestly. I don't do greater crystals. But always do dex as the for sure 100% level up. And then I'm going agi and luck most typically on my archers all the way through almost.
What about the vitality with the archers?
If you're doing vitality, if you're
like,
worried about the vitality, you do it early. Do it the first 5 levels and take a few.
just because you raise vitality doesn't mean you get good health rolls.
Right.
But if you raise Dex you're getting better damage rolls no matter what.
Right.
So it's like I've kind of changed my strategy on archers. Like I'll kind of push it up to like 15 Dex or 15 vitality, and then I'm switching. I'm going luck agility and dexterity. Like I'm putting primary stats and dexterity. I'm doing regular stones at least on dexterity. And if this is like going to become like one of your favorite heroes, maybe you drop 50 jewel and put a greater atonement on it, right? Maybe. Because that's like I can't remember. Here, let me see what it does, because that screen doesn't tell me. Maybe it should. I don't know. All right.
I think
so. Greater Atonement crystal gives you. That's chaos. Come on, Greater Atonement. Here we go. So a +1 to 2 random skills. So no matter what, it just deletes your boost on like a crystal on a growth chance. It just says here's a free +1 to something and +1 to something else, and then it increases 1% to a primary growth stat of those same stats, and then plus a 2% secondary stat growth of those same stats. So if this is kind of one of your heroes where you're like, all right, this is going to be my best hero until I can do like the complete reset where I'm burning level 100 heroes or like level 50 heroes or whatever, maybe grab like a Greater Atonement crystal and start that way, or maybe get your vitality up and then pop the Greater Atonement on. I don't know. Maybe you don't even do a Greater Atonement crystal. But the whole reason I was on Bazaar is like, if this is going to be one of your powerhouse heroes, man, like a lesser finesse is 8 crystal, right, or 8 jewel right now, or a regular finesse is 8 jewel right now. Every level up's permanent, man. There's no reset on that. So how many cents is 8 jewel? Is it worth it for a little bit of permanence?
It's a good point.
But then if you talk to right, you got guys like Skiller who are awesome at leveling up, and he'll definitely tell you that like there's no point with a stone like moving away from like lesser or whatever. He says stones, right? I don't think he said that for crystal. He'll just say like the cost differential isn't worth it.
Regular. He'll move up to regular, but he doesn't like to jump to greater because greater's like 3 times the price, I'm pretty sure, but only +2, so not even 50% of the points.
Yeah, but I mean at the same time,
listen. I don't have a Gen 0 right now.
Okay.
So my best cards are currently PvP ready Chads or duels ready Chads. And so Atomic Crystal, done. Not even thinking twice about it. Done.
Yeah.
And then how to make sure that this mythic is a Chad of a Chad, done. Right? Because I've burned a lot of heroes going through just trying to make sure I have really good competitors at the end of the day. If you don't have a Gen 0, okay, you have really good competitors. At the end of the day, that's it. So if this is an opportunity to have the best competitor, it's no question about the Atomic Crystal. There's no question about the Finesse Stone for every single level up, because I've wasted more doing God knows what in this ecosystem, right? So no, this is awesome. This is amazing. I'm flabbergasted. This might, I don't know if this will
work, okay? Because like this guy, I think I Greater Luck crystal the entire way.
Oh, let's see it.
I think. Let's see. Greater.
Did a ninja?
Greater.
8,
greater.
8, 8, 11.
Time is here.
So like, let's check out level 8.
Oh, you're gonna go to.
I got it.
The commoner doesn't get this luxury. The commoner doesn't get the luxury to go and see exactly where.
Somebody has to do it. Oh wait, no, I could just do it here, right? Oh, there's the wheel. I can just do it here, right? The +6 stats. Did I get a plus? See, I told you to order it for me.
That's huge. I didn't know that told you.
Yeah, it does. So I got the +3 to luck, which is what I wanted. So that was nice, but then I got my ass kicked on the other stats. Luckily, I got some points in dex, but you know, so just because you spent all that money on a Greater Stone doesn't mean it's gonna hit. Like
exactly.
I
mean, you're talking
3 luck,
but Dags, let's go back to your original point too. You're talking 82% or whatever on primary, and you're talking on Trade's new archer, and it's a wizard sub, and we're talking like 20% or something like that on the secondary.
So it's 12.5%.
12.5 on a secondary. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't want you to break the bank on a greater crystals are expensive. How worth is that? Because, you know, even if you go, this is why you guarantee dex, especially on archers, in my opinion. You guarantee Dex on the 1.
Yeah,
You're going to
I
get,
think so.
most of the time, 80% of the time, you're going to get a +2 on Dex. You go anything else, you go luck first. I love luck. I'm a big luck maxi. Why do you think it's in my top 3? But if you go luck first, you're lessening that to a 50% times 0.5 times 0.8 to get a +2. Not as likely. Not even potentially a 0. Now you're at a 0%. You could get a 0. You could get a +0 to that.
We got a lot to cover. Okay, we got a lot to cover tonight. Okay, this was some next round level shit here. Okay, when it comes to the mother clucker and how this archer, I'm gonna stand. I've never stand potted anything. I'm gonna stand pot this thing like there's no tomorrow for all of 2024.
Put a pet on.
Best believe it. Best believe it. Okay.
And
Yeah,
once
listen. It's done. Okay, it is done. It is finished. We're gonna see this guy at level 8 in the next 2 weeks. Okay,
yes, sir.
That's done.
Once he hits level 7, once he hits level 8, roughly, depending on his HP, bring him into hunts with a nice, like, solid squad. I'm telling you, that XP boost is nice, dude.
Yeah.
And then
so at the end of the day, I'm gonna finesse stone it. I'm gonna test out this strategy. It's a macro Saturday, and we're testing out macro strategies. And this hero is gonna take 100 levels to see if I can make him a Chad.
Let's go.
Let the games begin.
That's a good point, though. What if you just leave him at level 1 like Masha's doing? It's not that good of a hero. It's not a good enough hero to leave it at level 1.
I want him to fight. I need him to fight
this guy.
tomorrow.
Let's make this guy your raid.
I need him to fight tomorrow.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let's stamp on him. I mean, the ones, and I 100%, believe in why Mosh and the likes of, I believe his brother Beeve does it as well. Leave some of those heroes at level 1 who just have these insane passives and actives, because they want to ensure that when they are ready to level it, and they may just stamp pot it like you're doing, Trade, like you might do with this archer. They want to make sure, without a doubt, they can see the codex. They can know where they want to put those points. We can see the archer's codex.
The permanence factor of the level.
And just as a last take, I see that someone in the chat saying, "Why no Gen Zeros?" I can't afford it. Okay, it's not rocket science. It's simple. I can't afford it.
Yeah.
All right. So even those that have been here forever, there's a window to get a Gen Zero, and in the next 10 years, you're gonna hate yourself if you don't get a Gen Zero. But it's, when can you afford it? So yeah, it's not. I'm not like avoiding a Gen Zero because it's not valuable. Aside from land, a Gen Zero is probably the thing you want to get. So that's it. I
think there's ways to approach the ecosystem without a Gen Zero too, and I think you take advantage. You show the people how you potentially can position yourself to be prepared for where DFK is going in other ways. So there's many we talk about it all the time. There's many ways to play this game, many ways to, not financial advice, but invest and test your hands at this Web3 GameFi project that is DeFi.
Mag says this as he's squatting on 2 Gen Zeros right now.
You know what? That was a full D-Gen play, and my second Gen Zero was I think it was an IPO that I played and liquidated. That's how I got mine. So. And then I'm talking to you about how I don't play IPOs. They screw retailer investors.
Right.
Oh, what am I doing? I can get my screen up. I'm doing a Gen Zero summon.
Pull it up. While you're doing that, we are going to shift topics here shortly after we see what you get. People mentioned that, we kind of briefly touched on it, but it's going to be tough to win without potions in these next hunts. Regardless, we don't know what the RocBox does yet, but how much do we truly think potions is going to change gameplay? Even equipment. Do we think equipment could potentially change gameplay? And could we see these floors really being bought up because you need equipment to beat the rocks? What do you guys think?
I think potions will be a factor more than equipment. Because, we have to get the equipment at some point. Unless they take away... Hey, that's nice. Unless they take away the... What's that? I thought that said summoner for a second. I was like, I can't get a summoner.
It's a pally, right? I got it small.
Yeah. So I thought it says Paladin Berserker. I thought it said Paladin Summoner. Anyway, I think the potions coming in first are going to be really important, and because we can't, unless they take away us renting that guild equipment. I think we're gonna have a little bit of leeway on not having equipment, but it's gonna be. I think it's just gonna become way easier when we do have the equipment. But you know, when I put a gore sword on some of my knights, they just become worse because their dex isn't high enough. So I mean, there's two sides to that. You know, am I going to put a gore sword on a knight that has 14 dex because the team told me I can't win without equipment? It's not gonna help, right? But the potions, I'm gonna need them. I'm gonna need them because there's blind, and that's good enough for me. I need that cure blindness potion every time.
Trade, what do you think? Are you ready for potions? What do you think it's gonna do to gameplay here?
Well, I'm ready for potions. Been preparing for potions probably for the last 4 months or so. Knowing I should have been doing it 8 months ago.
I'm regretting it too.
But the whole the adjustment that was made by the team, which strategic in-game, out-game decisions, they keep making the right ones, but to reward those who were accumulating earlier on by lowering the cost to entry and multiplying the supply that those who were accumulating before. I mean, I wasn't feeling that healthy. I was a little underwhelmed. Now I'm like, oh shit, awesome. I can reverse my health pods directly to now what stamina pods for this possible mythic that I have in my hands to possibly grow, right? You're getting a dynamic way to make decisions with the different assets that are that are in his ecosystem. So yeah, I'm pretty bullish on potions. I wasn't as bullish on stamina pods as I was on mana and health veils, but this interaction tonight has totally changed my viewpoint on that, because now it makes me think, oh well, why don't I stamina pot um my paladin who I currently have partaking in the boar hunts with the gore sword right now and just get him to 15, because I don't care if they release it now or 18 months from now. He needs to make its way to 20 because there's a barrage of other heroes making their way to 20. And then that makes you look at the Moksha rune, and that makes you look at what Sticks in turn likes to call consumptive utility, but I like to call economic hardening theory. So yeah, it's interesting to see, but this is where supply and demand ratio starts getting implemented in different areas when you have gameplay, tournaments, karate combat.
And I want to bring up one thing that I saw in the chat. And first of all, it looks like we got around 30 people watching right now. Thank you guys for coming out on your Saturday night and watching us. Honestly, the chat's the best part of the whole stream for me.
Yeah.
So,
big shout out to the likes of Rubito, J-Dub, Mike K, Kubo with sending the mythic vibes. Big shout out to some of the mythic boys as well. S.I., Beeve, Mosh, Diamond Silverback. He's up in here as well. Red Room, Gander. Oh my goodness. We got a ton of people. In here tonight. Worm, Toonfed, to name a few.
Mythic vibes.
Much love for all you coming out.
I don't know how to say this name. Is it Jumid?
Jumid? Oh, yeah. Clunike, Jeremy, some newcomers, some old faces.
If we don't get you, we say you. We still love you. But
Tank Nation, I'm catching
we got Chelsea in here. And so what Mike K is saying, and I think I can't remember who Mike K is on Discord. I know they joined our Discord. I feel like and as soon as they joined, they were like, "My name's Mike K on YouTube." So, but I can't put a name on it. But so Mike K is saying that they're going to take away equipment, the guild rental equipment, and I know they will. So my thing is, I was wondering, are they just going to do that now? Because if they do that now, I don't think they will, because that would leave us with level 1 items for level 12 fights, and there's nothing we can do about it except grind boar hunts to get out of that situation. Because how challenging would the boar hunts be on just level 1 equipment? We can't craft equipment. They don't have the scrub quests yet, or those like the non-boar hunt, not quests, but battles, where you could normally pick up vendor trash, essentially. Trade Room, are you familiar with this term, vendor trash?
No.
Okay, so vendor trash is equipment that you're not really going to put on your hero unless it's like a dire situation, right? So you have your sword that you always use, but let's say in the middle of it, like the durability runs out, like you just pick something from your inventory and throw it on your hero. But normally it's something you would sell to a vendor. It's not even good enough to sell to another player. Okay. So like before bloaters went crazy, right? Bloaters were vendor trash. They had no use except to generate gold. Okay. So vendor trash is just something that exists to sell. But we don't even have quests where we can get vendor trash, because a vendor trash level 3 sword at this point would be better than our level 1 gear. We don't even have access to that. So like, how could they throw us into level 12 fights essentially naked? I don't think they're going to really. I think they're going to keep giving us guild equipment until crafting's out, honestly, or those like scrub fights that don't mean anything, where you get low tier items that are just serviceable.
Aren't the gore swords level 1?
10.
Wouldn't you consider? Oh, okay. Okay, I see what you mean. I see what you mean. So you're saying there's much more equipment to be dropped for the lower level.
We're gonna get worse equipment. Yep.
Wow.
And I'm betting
so
a lot of
that's
it'll be
actually
craftable.
bullish for like the gore sword, which is really representing the level 1 equipment, but it really isn't.
That's what the team's been telling us for weeks.
Wow.
So this gore sword accumulation right now is
10
important
sword.
because at the end of the day, once we have other hunts happening, the volume from the boars will actually decrease.
All right,
And
so notes I've taken this past week. I need to learn to read, and I need to learn to listen. Much better.
And stop selling.
Oh my.
So
great points from the both of you there. On blades, on equipment, on potions, on economic hardening. Man, bunch of good stuff. The ecosystem is only seeming to blossom and blossom each week. More and more stuff, more and more ways to play, more and more gameplay coming in the near future. And man, I'm excited. Big shout out as well. I want to shout out KP. Him and Bullish Brovia have been doing some good streams. We will have Bullish Brovia on the stream here in the next few weeks. It looks like we're eyeing the 19th, I want to say. I don't have a calendar in front of me, but the weekend of the 19th, I do believe, with Bullish Brovia. So that's going to be a lot of fun talking, I'm sure, PJ versus regular Portal heroes. Talking Pit versus Portal, talking PJ heroes. He's a big PJ buyer, ready for those land tournaments. What were you saying, Dags? I'm sorry.
I was say we're going to do some respectful dark summons.
Oh, yeah.
We're not going to attack him. We're just going to do some, like...
in his honor, of course.
Yeah, honestly, Bullish Brovia is the reason why I started accumulating Perilous Journey.
I'm gonna be honest, same.
Heroes. Just hearing his viewpoint, it's like right now, DFK players are planning. At the end of the day, even if you're losing money, not financial advice, with the different strategies that you're doing, when it comes to the next freaking chain, that's the next like no-brainer freaking money grab, right? So everybody's still planning for that, right? But when it comes to the land tournament, hey, if you're long term, are you freaking planning for that right now? Because if you're not, you're wasting time. You're wasting valuable time that you have to figure out what your game plan is, to find a way to take advantage of some of the biggest swings of opportunity that happens in the ecosystem. So I've been watching Brovia for a while, and I say, hey, it doesn't matter. Okay, I can go ahead and understand his strategy, understand his theory, and prepare my accounts for that type of execution. But I'd be excited to see what he has going on. But I'm definitely looking forward to catching up on some of his streams.
And kind of speaking about the PJ, because we have 2 more guys, right? There's going to be 2 more chains. There's going to be 2 more Perilous Journeys. And just kind of like talking about the land tournament, I actually reached out. I think I reached out to Bolon about it. and I was like, hey, when you guys made modifications the last time you actually talked about land tournaments, and you said instead of them, and I don't know if anybody remembers this, but they said instead of the winner of the land tournaments winning the actual land, you would take a cut of like, you'd be assigned a land, and then when that sold, you got a cut of the crystal that it sold for. You remember that, Mega? Trade Room, do you remember anything like that?
I do.
So I reached out to Ballin and I was like, is it still the plan? Because part of that was to kind of get a buffer, because if you live in the United States and you win this land, and let's say it's valued at 20 grand, you're going to have to pay tournament winnings, taxes for tournament winnings on that 20 grand asset, right? So it's like, I'm not a tax accountant. So what I'm saying is just kind of like basic, and it's not tax advice. But like, if I won land, I can't take it, because I'm not going to liquidate to pay $20,000 worth of taxes, right? So they kind of switched it, and they said, okay, you'll get some crystal instead. But with the way prices are now, I was like, okay, Bolon, like, you guys made this plan when Jewel was like $20. Now it's 25 cents. Is the land tournament plan still you get a cut of the sales, or are we going to switch it back to land? And he's like, actually, we haven't even talked about that in a while. We have an AMA question coming up for next week. And he's like, and so maybe we'll talk about that again and get a little information to you guys. So I think we're far out from the land tournaments. I think they need to do it on PvP combat and not on duels. That's just me. So, I mean, we're as far out from land tournaments as we are PvP, I feel like. But we might get a little bit of information on if they're keeping that format or changing it. So, who knows?
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you on that in terms of what the structure is for divvying out land. I haven't kept up as close with that, but at the end of the day, they're gonna have to make a decision, and we already know that PJs and some of these other structures that are meant to be able to qualify for these things, so they have to stay as close to those earlier promises as they can. But yeah, to me, the tax implication one is one of it, and I know that this ecosystem is built to look out for the best interest of the players in the game, not the developers. And so at the end of the day, there are other strategic decisions they're making other than, hey, this is a reward within the game, right? And so I think at the end of the day, whatever it is, would be a good opportunity to execute our voting system that we have and that we're looking to implement within game. And that will be an integral portion of this ecosystem. Honestly, for me, when the voting gets figured out, because that's where you have the combination of capitalism and a sovereign free ecosystem with the marketplace that literally is allowed to flow on supply and demand.
We need a voting booth in the castle.
But we've gotten hints that that's coming. We've gotten hints that that's coming.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see. That's great points from you there, Trade.
Yeah, I like that.
I think I have nothing left to cover on that specific topic. So I do want to highlight something huge going on in collaboration with the Jewelers GameFi Guild here. We do have another DeFi Kingdoms duels tournament coming, hosted by none other than Emerson. Pink Slip Duels coming at you. Boys and girls, if you missed the tweet, this is why you follow the Jewelers Twitter. This is why you follow the Jewelers X, formerly Twitter. A ton of good stuff coming, and 16 lucky contestants, the quickest, I should say, not even lucky. 16 quick and ready and prepared contestants are already signed up for the Pink Slip Duels tournament. This is going to go on March 24th, of course, 2024. Trade Room himself is going to be streaming a bunch of the duels. It's going to be duels with a twist, dark summoning. You're going to have to bring in 3 rare or above heroes. Under, what is the level? Level 5 to 10.
Yep.
4 rounds, tournament bracket style. You're going to fight to the death each round. It's going to be a best of 7 each round. And if you win, you take the opponent's heroes. You dark summon 6 heroes, whatever which way you see fit. And you advance to the next round with potentially some mythics, potentially some odd end ass heroes, dude. Dags is already Dags. Are you taking part in this? Are you signed up?
Yeah, I signed up. Because we were sponsoring it, right? So I wasn't sure how many slots we wanted to take up. But
I want to say real quick, I want to get your points. Mythic Squad as well will be streaming some duels, I do believe. A lot of help from the Mythic Squad. Some of the boys there helping with Emerson. I want to give a shout out to them as well. So it's going to be a group collaboration effort. I'm sure both people will be streaming Mythic Squad and the Jewelers Crypto YouTubes. But Dags, what are you feeling? I'm sorry to interrupt you there.
That's okay. It was good info. I love that he put the level 5 to 10 restriction in.
Yeah.
Because like the first thing I say to Emerson, we're chatting about it, and I'm like, I'm gonna come hit this with like 3 level 1s. Or he was like, well, I hope no one would do that, blah blah blah. And I'm like, you are talking to the guy who will do that. It's me. I'm the guy.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm hit.
You could come in with some level 5s and still truly shake up the game.
I would have wrecked the entire bracket because I would have got someone with level 10. They would have beat my level 1s, and that would have wrecked them for the rest of the tournament because they would have to either mix their level 10s together, but no matter what, one of their 10s would have to go with my level 1s, bringing that a level 5, and then you'd have 2 level 1s summoned together. So they would go into the next round with like a 10, a 5, and a 1, and then they would get lit, and it would just drain my entire side of the bracket. And I thought that would have been hilarious. But then I was like, okay, this is the first time we're doing this tournament. I don't want to ruin it for you, but someone else might. So we kind of talked about it and threw that level restriction in there because, oh man, that would have been.
Again, big shout out to Emerson for putting this together. Big shout out to KP, Christian Peter himself. Was a guiding wing, helping a ton with Emerson. Emerson wanted to stress that as well. Got KP in the audience here today as well. KP, man, big shout out to you for putting this together with Emerson. Mythic Squad as well. Of course, a lot of hands on this. And this is just great to see, the community coming together, building an event. We, of course, have the Jewelers Joust, which there is a YouTube video. We're going to get to it in a second. But we're going to show you just straight up. You can check the YouTube video for the wheel rolls if you'd like, the Wheel of Fate. But we'll show you what heroes will be able to be brought to that. But this is going to be interesting. The 16 players will be randomly put in a wheel. And, there's no seeding truly. So we will spin the wheel. And we'll basically put them on the bracket based on the wheel and remove them as we go. But the winner's going to take home the last 6 heroes. They don't have to dark summon the last 6, of course. They could take them home. Keep all 6, so you will potentially profit. There's going to be other prizes. Emerson is providing the runes for every level up. All you got to do is stone and crystal any which way you see fit. So there you go. I mean, that's an opportunity for some whales, if they so choose, to spend a little money in between rounds if they're winning, put a greater stone on there. But it could be all for naught. I mean, it will be all for naught because you're going, unless it's the last round and you truly think you're going to win and put all your money on the line, you know what I mean? You could greater stone those heroes, I guess. But if you're doing it in round 1 or 2, you're going to have to dark summon those heroes anyway. So I think that might be pointless.
Can I jump in for a second? We got Emerson in chat. Emerson, would it be a good idea if I'm interested, even though Mega just said it's full, would it be a good idea for me to sign up just in case somebody drops out? Can we get your opinion on that? Should people still sign up or sign-ups closed? What's the deal here?
He has the form live. If I'm not mistaken, I talked to Emerson. We'll see if he chats here. If I'm not mistaken, he wants people to continue signing up. First off, because he may, he said yes. He verified. He wants people to continue signing up because he has like a wait list. Still sign up. Get at least connected with Emerson. And in case people cancel, in case people have other commitments that come up, it is a month out. So, definitely sign up and sit on that wait list just in case you might find yourself on it. He may expand it. I don't think he'll expand it for the first one, but the others he may expand to like 32 or elsewhere. Exactly, be easy. Imagine losing 3 Greater Stone heroes, bro. Imagine going to the finals. You know, you got some pretty cool pairs, and you're like, you know what? I'm going for it all. I'm Greater Stoning all 3 of these, and you lose in the finals just to see another player take your 3 heroes. Could be crazy. Trade, what's your opinion here? Are you hyped to cast the pink slip duels here? This is gonna be fun.
Yeah, I'm super hyped to cast the pink duels. And I have a question following this, especially for Dax, because I know he's always running 3, 4, 5, 6 strategies in his head. Look at him rubbing his chin right now as he looks over the rules, right? So he gave us some insight, even to his competitors on what he's thinking about. So yeah, super hyped to commentate on this. It's gonna be awesome. From the $13 hollow, we saw how intense these duels get because PvP is one thing, PvE is one thing, and boar hunt is one thing. But when you have these duels tournaments, because of how the cards move and the different selections, it can get very intense. And so my question for Dags is the strategy you just gave us with the pink slip and the dark summoning and picking a different level, and I want you to try to explain that for the dummies, because I still am not really linking onto why you would want to do that in correlation with the rules and why you can make that difficult for the person moving on to the next round.
Sure. So the point to do that would be to lose the first round. So it's not a winning strategy, right? And the assumption is there'd be 2 brackets, and one side of the bracket that I'm not on, the entire side would all come in with like level 10s, right? If there was no minimum, okay? So then I would ensure that my entire side of the bracket was at a disadvantage because I'd have my level 1s versus level 10s in the first set of duels, right? So what happens, Trader, when you dark summon a level 1 with a level 10?
What
You
happens?
get a level 5.
Mm.
So for them to maximize levels here, they'd either have to take my level 1s and dark summon with their level 10s, and they'd have to use level 5s the next round because you have to burn all the heroes from the round. Or they can burn 2 of their level 10s together to get a level 10, but then they have that leftover one that has to get paired with my level 5, or my level 1, I'm sorry, which gives a level 5, but then they have my 2 level 1s left over. So then they're going into the next round either with 3 level 5s, or they're going next round with a level 10, a level 5, and a level 1. And then they're going to face someone who has all level 10s, and then those people are going to get messed up. They'll have the level, right? So then their level, let's say they went the straight 5s route, right? It rounds down. So their level 10s versus the level 5s. The level 5s lose. Now this guy has to burn his level 10s with the level 5s. We've got, level 7s as a result? And then those level 7s are going to fight level 10s. I guess we're slowly working our way back up depending on how many brackets there are. But I've essentially put my whole bracket side at a disadvantage for the rest of the tournament. And it would just be for the sake of fucking everything up.
So this is really King Joffrey. Thumbs here. Wait 5 seconds. And down.
Yeah.
For the Dark Summoning Pit within a month's time.
Right. And because the whole, and actually I applaud Matty Pesk for saying that he was going to sign up, because it really, the forced dark summoning can really take a prized hero that you have. Like, let's say you're in the second to the last round and you're dark summoned, you get a mythic, or let's say the third to last, because you get to keep, if you win, you get to keep the 6 there. Let's say you're in like the third to last round and you get a mythic dark summon, but you win that round, you have to burn that mythic.
Mm-hmm. And if you don't have another mythic within that 6 heroes, then you potentially lose a mythic. You potentially won't be able to keep another mythic going into the next round. Unless you can pair it with another mythic, you know?
Now, if someone cuts and runs, I don't know.
I mean, that's something to think about. A lot of the people that signed up are fairly, social, fairly in the community. So that's going to be a big hit just on your character. You know what I mean? Most of the people are.
I hope they make a new badge.
Yeah. Who knows, man? And it's just like like the one I know you're talking about, like the trait badge. It's like a exile badge or something like that. The exiled hero. That would be crazy. Oh my god.
Or you aren't allowed to run your quests at like minimum gas. They always automatically run at max.
The whole DeFi Kingdoms team literally just locks that hero. That hero can't be sent to a wallet. I don't think they would do that because that would invade on.
I know. Yeah, that's funny though.
But that's funny to think about.
But yeah, Trade, does that kind of clear it up? Like how because when you dark summon two heroes together, it takes the average of their levels. So if I bring in level 1s, it drops the average of the summon. And then it probably takes about 4 rounds of summoning with level 10s to clear that disadvantage up. But it's going to make it harder for the person to win the rest of the way.
No, this definitely clarifies it. The graphic makes even more sense because it's a tale of gentlemen, but a tale of brutal gentlemen, right? The pink slip duels. And so it's going to be interesting to see the tactics that individuals use and who they are paired with as we duel to death. You know, Grady gave his blood, and it looks like some individuals will be giving their heroes blood to the death. So this is the first quarter of 2024. This is what we're dealing with here. Devious people here.
It's craziness. It is utter craziness. The minds in this community, man, it is something I love to see. We have some great people putting together some great things with some great ideas. And it's just a matter of time until Duels goes live. One thing people mentioned, in case you were wondering and don't see the live chat here, someone mentioned about the classes, the bonus classes, the bonus subclasses, and all that correlate towards DFK Duels. I believe we'll have to get full verification on this, but I do believe that the team said you can turn it off in private duels, like Dag said there in chat. So that's going to be pretty sweet. So it'll be an even level playing field for everyone participating. Going to be a lot of fun. Man, I'm excited. If I was jumped on the sign up a little faster, I'd be in there. I will be in the second one. I do think I may be joining trade. So that's kind of another reason I think I held out, because I may be joining a trade. I might be jumping in and out on the stream, but I know you're going to kill it during those duels commentaries. I can't wait. I cannot wait. We do have Jewelers Joust coming as well. Let me pull up the graphic showcasing the very first Jewelers Joust 1 and what heroes we will be able to bring to that event. We are cut off a little bit, so everybody on your camera, you got to tilt this way a little bit, if you will. No, I'm just playing.
Why don't you just full screen it? Cut us off.
I could full. I don't know. This is just an overlay, actually. So this is as big as it went. This is like the size I cut it at, which. But this is the technically three wheels of fate that were rolled. You can check out the Jewelers YouTube here. I should put that in the description after we go live with the Wheel of Fate rolls. We do have Codex classes only. So unless any go live before, pool play goes live, which will be the first week after Duel Season 7 goes live, the only heroes you'll be able to bring at the moment are Warrior, Priest, Archer, and Knight. You're only going to be able to bring rare heroes only, and the levels will be stuck at 1 to 5. Trade, how you feeling? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, levels 1 to 5 really drowned the aspirations that I had for my War Hunt Ready Knights.
Ooh.
Who were stacked with equipment and a bunch of other things that could have given them a boost. But I'm also tarnished too by the rarity, because it's rares only. I have some common knights who are killing it in boar hunts right now. So, I think Dags recently went on a rare hunting escapade.
Mm.
And
He did indeed.
you know, the thing is that I like, and I don't want to make any accusations. It was a wheel that we spun, and it landed on rares, and then Dags just so happened to go in a barrage of rares.
Time out. Okay. I wasn't ready to talk about this strategy yet, but it's kind of forcing my hand. I bought 50 rare heroes because I am stockpiling for the next PJ. I wasn't stockpiling for this. So, yes, I bought 50 rare heroes, but I'm going to dump all those in a wallet, and they're going to be sent on the PJ. They're not for this. I don't think I've purchased anything for this yet. I've purchased my heroes for Emerson's pink slips, but I haven't purchased any heroes for this, and I might not purchase any heroes for this. I might just use what I have. So, all right, go ahead.
I was like, PJs, where the hell do we start getting into this PJ talk? What happened? Who do I need to prepare to die and burn? Do I need to prepare to burn half my entire holding of heroes? When the hell did we just start talking about this new PJ? And what does this have to do with? That's my question.
Well, I mean, last time my focus was on making heroes for the Mythic. That was last month's goals, making heroes for the Mythic Squad tournament. Mm-hmm. And now that that's done, I was like, all right, well, what else should I look at? And honestly, with like Brovia and Jackie talking so much about like that PJ Archer that he has, it's just got PJs in my head. And there's a lot of news on Twitter talking about Ronin, opening a chain on Ronin. There's a lot of talks from the people on Soul who are saying they've had talks with the team. And, the team has come out and said, like, yes, we've had talks with a ton of chains. We haven't chosen a chain, but there's like so much information. I'm just getting bombarded with it. So like I FOMO purchased a bunch of heroes that I want to send on the PJ, and I want to send like 500 heroes on the next PJ. And I want like a third of them to be rare and like a third of them to be advanced class and like a sixth of them to be elite classes. So, I mean, legendary. I want a third of them to be legendary. So since there's so much like talk about the next chain, I totally just FOMO purchased a bunch of heroes, and I'm going to FOMO purchase more until I have like 500.
I still think it may be a little bit away, and I think you even have that sentiment also.
I need to get them to level 10 because the last PJ, the higher level your heroes were, the higher their survival rate was.
Right on.
So that's why I'm getting them now.
Yeah, Worm does say another PJ is not a given. That is true. 2 realms seem to be a given, word from the team, of course, but that doesn't guarantee that we're going to have another PJ event.
They told us we were going to have 3 PJs when the first PJ came out.
Okay.
So
you can.
I don't know if it was the exact time, but after the first PJ, they were like, and when they started talking about heroes, because they were talking about they wanted to have a unique badge for a hero who survived all the PJs.
Okay.
So I mean, if they're gonna back out on that, I mean, I guess I'll have 500 rare heroes or 500 heroes that I'll figure something out to do with. So
I mean, I do love the idea of another one. Also, I'm completely on board.
And I didn't buy my 500 yet. I'm only 10% of the way there. And Jade Room forced my hand here and making me talk about it.
Right. He's already giving away the strategies, man.
I wasn't ready. Now I have to buy them for 50 crystal instead of 40.
Listen, I was flabbergasted. I need some clarity.
I was talking to Light about that too. And he's like, did I miss some news, Dags? Like, why the hell are you talking about PJs?
Seriously.
And I'm like, dude, X got me FOMOing. So
it must have. I'm going to pull up here and just kind of see where the floor is for level 5s. Well, this isn't going to bring me the floor. This is level descending. Let's just check. Well, we can't really go backwards. I don't think it allows you. Let's just go price. Of course, it's going to give us level. Let's just do 5 to 5 so we can see 5s. Because, of course, if you were to just jump into the tavern today, again, this isn't going to go live tomorrow. This is going to go live. Signups will go live either a few days or keep an eye out for our socials. But once Duel Season 7 goes live, keep an eye out for our socials because again we're unaware. The team doesn't let us know. We get a little hints from them during AMAs, but that's all we get. So look, you can pull up some heroes ready for duels for the Jewelers Joust inaugural event for about 50 crystal. Whole team paying about 310, 320 crystal total. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. We will have a buy-in cost
immediately. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And the idea here, my main idea, is first off to allow a bunch of different wallets to play, any and every type of player to be able to get heroes to play this type of event. And also, hopefully, nobody has to go break at the bank to go buy a hero. You know what I mean? Hopefully, you just have amassed enough heroes to where, okay, the wheel hits. Let's go see what I got. Let's see what type of heroes I already got. Because, most of us probably have some random rare knights. I have Thief clicked here by accident. I meant to click Priest. So actually, the price might be slightly different. Yep, it'll be a little bit more. 300, 350, a little cheaper than I said. I think no, I said 310 before. But regardless, 350 or so for a whole team to play Jewelers Joust tournament. But better get them fast because I'm sure just innately with some of these tournaments, the floor may change on heroes like this.
Did we already lose a thief in the time we were talking? Wasn't there a 50 crystal thief?
I took Thief
there
wrong.
was.
It's got to be Codex. That's what it was.
I made that mistake.
And the Codex one is hard because they're not as cheap as the other ones because the Codex is live, obviously. But Trade, I got a question for you. And maybe this will go the way I want it to. Maybe it won't. What were some of the deterring factors in not joining the Void Hunt tournament?
So the first one would be my lack of use and variety with the warrior.
Okay.
Because the Holy Trinity, but also too more recently, the priest archer is a beautiful combo. And then I adjusted from going from piercing and bleeding to some rapid shot combinations. For archer, you gotta have that, right? Not saying that I wasn't winning fights before, but this time that window for the kill shot guaranteed with that combination. But also too, the fact that I had to prepare for being outside of the bubble of the Holy Trinity. That's really what got me, because for the longest, I was doing 3 hunts a day, every 24 hours as I could. Now I've built out like a 10 hunt team.
Yeah,
I built out like 10 teams, right? And I can be very flexible with it. And if I can figure out my warriors, it will be like a freaking 20 team hunt ready squad.
Ooh.
New wallets, like I see Mega doing, where you just toss them in a new wallet and you add them to the circulation. So for me, if I can figure out warriors, man, I can hop into any freaking tournament we have going on. And I need somebody to break the warrior down, and the best way to utilize it. Sticks in turn has done it, but I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, you have to have them built properly,
right?
Because if your warrior has no dex, you are not going to have any fun. And I burned all my warriors except my Gen 0. Of course, I can't. And I just rebuilt them. Where honestly, I have all my warriors where they're like above 18 dex. And I change my mind like weekly, like what I like better, the knight or the warrior. So I'm excited for you to get there. Now, when I said this probably ain't going to go my way, it didn't. Because before the Void Hunt tournament, you were talking about how you only had 2 squads that were like properly functioning. Okay. So in my mind, I was like, okay, he needs to go get 4 more squads so that he can get through all 6 affixes, right? Our tournament with the first Jewelers Joust, where you can play with a level 5 rare, it's not going to cost anybody out. And so it is Now, almost everybody here wants that higher level of play. But this whole system is prepared to take in a new influx of players to where they can start doing tournaments without breaking the bank. Now,
You can come in day one and get it popping with the way the wheels spun with this one. And I'm telling you, it's going to get crazy. And 16 is not enough, but 16 is just right.
But we also had, like 16 plus, could have been 16 plus levels. If it was a 16 plus tournament, I don't even think I can compete. I think I have maybe I could. I think I have like 4. If it would have been like legendary or higher level 16s, I wouldn't be able to play.
That's a good point because I honestly have I have a few, not many at all.
When you spun that wheel, I was hoping that it didn't say like legendary, elite heroes, level 16 or higher. Because I was like, if that happens, that would have been such a blessing to me.
Thinking about it, I honestly might, collectively as a unit, I think we could maybe decide temporarily. I don't know. We'll have to maybe judge the community and we'll put it up to a poll.
Well, we talked about weighting certain things.
Yeah, so maybe
we talked about weighting. So
like a small percentage for 16 to 20. How small our player pool may be if we get 16 to 20. Like I probably won't go. I mean, maybe I would buy it just for this specific tournament. I think it would be fun.
And we did talk about having a low tier and a high tier. So
yeah, that's good. I like that idea. We'll experiment with different things. Hopefully after the first one to kind of get our feet wet with it, see how everything goes. It's looking to go pretty smoothly. Again, most of these duels, the good thing about it is you're not time restrained for pool play. If you make it and qualify for the tournament, there will be a set day for that tournament. I think we'll do that live. I think that could be fun. As long as we can get all the finalists to cooperate as far as the time goes, I think that could be fun. But pool play, it will be a week long. You can send your duels whenever you want, and we'll tell you exactly who you have to send the duels to. Some of them will be sent to you. About half of the duels you'll have to send. Half the duels that you have to play in pool play will be sent back to you. I'll send all those schedules out, all that good stuff. But it's something where you don't have to be time stricken. You don't have to be there at your computer at 7 p.m. or whatever, You can be out and about with the lady on date night and challenging Caracat in duels, baby. You never know. It's going to be fun stuff. Just another variety way to play the game, and especially to build off the beautiful thing that we have with duels. And what was I getting at? And trade. Do you plan? I kind of putting you on the spot here live to see where your sentiment is. But for the good people, do you plan on like recording videos? And I'll send you the duels IDs. We'll have them all handy. Do you want to record the pool play too, or you're just gonna do the tournament? It's fully up to you. No pressure. Any way you see fit.
No, definitely want to catch the pool play. May not be able to catch all the pool plays.
Right.
It's a
maybe
build
the
up.
top ones we could put together.
Right. It's a build up. It's a lead up. Those who are the influencers in the space, maybe catch some of those if you see those on the list. And then really prepare to lock in for the qualifying rounds and the official rounds. But yeah, the pool play definitely. I mean, you saw a Karate Combat last night where they had some preliminaries, and that was a nice build up. It got me ready to see people being punched and knocked out. I'm telling you, it was hard to see people punched and knocked out, but it got me prepared. So yeah, definitely looking to catch a few of the early rounds and then build that into the next rounds.
I like it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Stay tuned for that.
One more thing on that.
Go on. For sure.
And you talked about like how you get your duel done when you can. I think I was talking to Kupo about that, where he was like, I can't commit to like these tournament times. And I was like, no, dude, the tournament time is your time. Like,
yes, sir.
You fire up the private duel. You do the private duel when you can. You have X amount of hours to get it done. If you don't get it done, you forfeit. But you had what was it? Is it a full day window? Did we decide a timeline?
It's a week. Pool play is going to be a week because I'm going to be updating that time, which will be cool. And that's kind of why, like, if you have to wait till the end of the week, and even if you want to, you know, if you're a player who you want to hold off on your duels or whatever, again, we're hoping and we'll clarify this before the tournament. We're hoping you can do private. This is why we, you know, have that period before signups is complete, so we can verify all these things, test within internally. But we're hoping classes and subclass bonuses will not be live in private duels. So it should be good. And again, the tournament leaderboard will hopefully be able to, you know, if some people get their duels done early, we'll hopefully be able to update that and see where you're at. You know, you complete all 6 of your, or let's say you have 6 duels in your division, you complete them all. You'll be able to see all those live as the week goes on. It'll be a week long for pool play, and then hopefully the weekend right after, as long as all the contestants, we can again find a good time for all the contestants. That weekend, we will have the tournament with the 16 finalists. The eight qualifier, eight people qualify for the Jewelers Joust finals. So if we end up with, let's say, 64 total contestants for pool play, you know, maybe we'll do more. I think we have a maximum, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I got to check the docs. They're right here, actually. Maximum 24. Excuse me. Okay. Maximum 24 contestants for the first event. That way, if there is 24 contestants, we'll have 4 divisions of 6 ready to roll. Gonna be a lot of fun. Let's see. Did we miss any topics as far as DeFi Kingdoms goes? A little RocBocs.
Meg, you're the one playing these hunts right now?
Yeah.
The fact that you're keeping on cue with timing and topic and still murking these boards is crazy, bro. It's absolutely insane, man.
I love these little archers comps, bro. It's so mindless. Insane. Like I just started these at 117 on the stream clock. It's insane. 126 and I got 2 done. Triple archer is the most efficient thing, man. And these aren't even like top of the line archers. Like I ball on a budget. My friends. I don't got a big wallet. I'm not a whale. I just put together what works, bros, and I make it make me some money. Hopefully, that's the goal. Not financial advice, but no, hunts are fun, bro. And I'm trying to make it as, you know, we all want time back in our lives. So I want the loot, but I want time back in my life. So I'm trying to make it as efficient as I possibly can. Boys, is there anything you guys wanted to cover on Jewelers Joust in addition? Is there any other topics we missed? I'm trying to look through here, but it looks like
I have some non-Jeweler Joust topics.
Talk about it.
Power creep.
Creep. We missed power creep.
Trey, do you know power creep?
I don't know that.
Power creep usually is like a mechanic where like things that get released later end up being stronger than the things that were released before them. Okay, so like I'm expecting a warrior to be worse than like a berserker because the berserker came out later and had access to more mechanics as they were writing it. That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And they've already admitted to having to put some things on hold because they noticed power creep. And then definitely one of the things was they had to add a debuff to the two-handed weapons. That was one thing that Sarge was mentioned on Sarge's stream. We tried to get him to slip. I think there's I think you take negative modifiers to your initiative, but it wasn't quite sure. And then and then there was another thing Bolon was talking about. He said that pet combat bonuses are going to be absolutely insane. So if you're sleeping on like those 3-star pet bonuses for combat, maybe go grab some of those. Not financial advice because I don't want you to buy them because I want to buy them. So don't buy those. But yeah, did you guys? They just anyway. Sorry, I mixed 2 topics together. The two-handed weapons were too strong, and they had to add penalties to your heroes for using them. I can't help but think of berserkers coming out of this, guys.
Yeah, if it's a berserker, I'm totally underprepared because I'll have a few berserkers that are like level 10, 11, and 12. I don't have any that are in the 15 range, but The Berserker is always one that I look at. The name, man, it's just so sexy to me, right? So it's like
Oh, man,
now I'm thinking
animation.
about, okay, all these Berserkers I have, is it dark? Is it time to start dark summoning them and getting them to the next level? I wouldn't mind doing it, even if it's not the Berserker, because I know that it's just a powerful, type of hero to begin with. But yeah, I think between the Berserker, the Thief, and the Seer, that's really call that the Holy Trinity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can I show you guys why I want Berserker so badly?
Yes, please.
Let me zoom in. All right, and let me steal the screen.
Take it
That-
away.
Dude, the Vizzies on that group look
The
awesome.
Vizzy's
Oh,
crazy. The
my
Vizzy's crazy.
favorite
And
spot.
took out the Mama Boar early.
Early.
Jeez.
I like
All
it.
right.
It was dangerous for a second. I had it set up perfectly, and then one of my boys
Jeez.
got dazed, and it was close.
This is
But this is
crazy.
easy.
I gotta get on game with the triple archer, man.
I'm not gonna share. I'm not gonna take screen yet. We gotta finish this
We'll
one.
finish it off. It should be one
Sheesh.
more turn with this big old attack, hopefully. Yes, sir.
Sheesh. Wow. Clear
Only
the
thing I don't
freaking-
like, I don't know what they can do, but maybe you can hover over and get an ID. You can't really see. You can't differentiate. It's hard to
Yeah.
unless you can peek that back bling. You can see it right there. That's the sword.
And I asked on the AMA. You know that you see your Void Hunt ID in the top left corner,
Yeah,
and then Flea on the top right corner.
yeah.
I asked them to put username in the space
Yeah.
between, so that for esport purposes,
Mm-hmm.
so that the casters always can just look back and know who the hell they're looking at.
Even something like Mega versus Mad Boars, Mega versus RocBocs, Dags versus Mad Boars, Trade versus RocBocs.
Yeah.
Like that would be somewhere, somehow they should.
Mega versus Dags.
Yeah, exactly. For when PvP's there, we need to see that. I'm sure when PvP was there, I'm sure that would be something they would definitely have in there. But
All right. Why am I excited about Berserkers?
yes.
Berserker.
Hold it up. Why are you excited about Berserkers?
Okay.
Ooh.
Now I know this is only 7 and 4, but honestly, I have no problem stand potting these. And they're not stoned, but
Giant Slayer, double Giant Slayer.
How beautiful would it be if that one blue giant
Oh
Slayer was
my
just on
God.
that mythic though?
On the mythic,
yeah.
bro.
It's just beautiful though on the
Yeah.
regular.
And the thing is, I don't know the mechanics of Giant Slayer, but you gotta have enough power and endurance. So enough strength and endurance, and then
Yeah.
even for you to hit, the dexterity gotta be decent, right? So
Yeah. So I gotta
who's
build
gonna
the
benefit
dex
the
on
most
him.
from Giant Slayer in terms of? I know you have a lot of ninjas on Giant Slayer, but
Mhm.
this is interesting. What are your thoughts?
Right now, I'm building Vitality, but I will move over to Dex. I mean, this one, the Dex just kind of happened naturally. 17 Dex. I don't know what's going to be the Dex requirement to hit with a two-handed weapon. But yeah, I mean, he's looking pretty. I feel like this guy's looking pretty
He looks
decent
good.
for
He
a
looks
level
good.
7 and a level 4. So yeah.
Now, do you have any hesitation on taking Vitality because Giant Slayer, is based on your HP a little bit? Like, I know you'll still lose HP during the battle, and if it's based on your current HP, Giant Slayer still could be huge for a frontline tank.
So I'm gonna get some Vitality up because I think you're still gonna need to be able to take the hits from the guys that you're gonna be using Giant Slayer against. Like if this guy goes and hits an archer, it's not, the Giant Slayer is not gonna trigger because I'll probably have more HP than him no matter how low my Vitality is. So I still want a good base Vitality so that this guy can go after like the Knights, the Paladins, the Dreads, the bosses, the Mama Boars. So, and that was another thing. Like they really make it sound like we're close to trades. Like they are tickling our balls about trades, and mine are ready.
Oh my goodness. I can't wait. I cannot wait for trades. The dynamics that could shift and be easy. This is a great point. Giant Slayer will be great for scrub fights. Great for fights like boars if you eventually call it a scrub fight. The boars, most of these big monsters, these scrub, type monsters, have some big HP bars, and you just gotta battle through those. So, oh my goodness, KP. Oh my goodness, Dags, what have you done? All right, let's see. Is there anything else that we want to cover here? We do have the wheel. Are we finishing with the wheel?
I don't know. Were we gonna do that? Let's make a plan for that. I don't want to do it right now. I want to scrub through Discord and see if there was somebody I forgot besides Jackie.
Okay, perfect.
Because I knew there was some. What's up, Ren Pen? I knew there were like 2 people that I forgot to list.
Okay, perfect. Yeah,
and that might be in a private chat with Jack that I talked about it, but I gotta find it.
Right. We'll hold off because again, Trade is being so generous to re-gift the random wheel of a bunch of people spun and hit on Trade, and he's re-gifting this mythic archer ready to level up. Crazy stuff.
Gifted another, what is it? A Giant Slayer mythic archer.
And he is re-gifted
for his kindness.
Mythic archer, baby. He's hyped. He's hyped. He's gonna level that thing up to perfection. I'm hoping for 40 decks at level 10 from that bad boy. And I believe Trade has it in the books. You even have the finesse stone on it, the lesser finesse on that bad boy. Sheesh. Boys and girls, if you haven't already, subscribe to Trade on YouTube, follow him on Twitter and X.
Are you at 200 yet?
He did.
Yeah.
I felt 100 to 200 was just just half
by like that. Just had his 200 sub giveaway a little bit recently, and he just streamed with Sticks Intern before he jumped on this tonight for about 2 hours, if I'm not mistaken. 7:30 was that kickoff. So bunch of litigation, Trade. What were you talking about in there? Let the good people know.
We were just catching up with Sticks Intern. The Coinbase case on January 17th happened, where Coinbase was looking to have the judge dismiss the case, and so the judge heard both parties out, and the judge seems to kind of lean on Coinbase's side. So, with the Ripple case lasting 3 years, and XRP being deemed not security, you have the ETF lawsuit from Grayscale, and all these things are accumulating to the place where the judge is looking favorably, or multiple judges are looking favorably to the crypto industry. And so now we're at the moment where these cases are either wrapping up in the Ripple case or getting to a place in the Coinbase case where we're looking at another couple of years. But the end all be all is that the U.S. government 2 years ago put out the executive order for the regulatory agencies to put the groundworks down. And these court cases are letting or putting a slap on the wrist of the regulators to put out more fairer rules. And I'm seeing these in the IT space with the regulations or the certifications and the information that are in these books. And so we're seeing Bitcoin and blockchain being highlighted and in small spaces, and we're going to see it continue with combination with the AI space and with the technology space. So just very exciting to see the groundworks of what's being built and how the U.S. is, what the U.S. is doing, what steps they're taking, and how the U.S. citizens are partaking. And with the elections coming in 2004, crypto is not top 5, but we're in that top 10 category of what these individuals have to consider with going into the election. So pretty exciting. It was fun. We're back next week with more on the charts, more on the litigation status of the different things happening in the space. Hopefully we get an update because we'll have Sticks Intern on next month to talk more on what's happening on the back end.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. A lot of Coinbase stuff that I was, uneducated on. I appreciate both of you, Trade, of course, and Sticks Intern for educating the good people. Hopefully we have some advancements, some new news when, SI returns in a month or so. Damn, a lot of good stuff. Dags, you got anything else on your mind here?
Are you doing a replay? Did duels go live?
I just poofed it live. No, this is just the actually Miro Esto. This is someone we know.
He's blocked me. That's
I can't
Nas.
remember off the top of my head, but
Isn't
pulling
that
off
Nas?
the champion duel here. That's pretty cool. Sweep style.
Yeah, I mean, before we go again, I want to thank like everyone in the chat for coming, and I want to thank Trade Room's wife for letting us have him from 7:30 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. today.
Right.
And a ton of time yesterday. He streamed from like 4:30 to like 9 p.m. or something like that. No, later because you went through the fights.
She's away in Turks and Caicos, so right now.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Perfect.
So-
Trade's been putting in the extra work. I cannot wait for the commentaries. I cannot wait to see Dags join in on the Pink Slip duels. Man, a lot of cool stuff coming. Who knows? We might have another Mythic Squad Void Hunt tournament here coming before the RocBocs. We got to see what those boys are up to. I know SI needs a break. He needs a breather from
No, he
all
doesn't.
that.
He loves it.
He
loves
loves
the
it. He
game.
loves the chaos. It was well done as ever. Put together perfectly from the boys. Man, I cannot wait. I appreciate, again, like Dag said, all of you out there in the chat, each and every one of you. TuneFed, KP, Red Room, Be Easy, Emerson, just to name a few who are still here with us. Whatever day you're catching this on throughout the week, tomorrow, Sunday, Monday, talking DFK all damn day. And I hope you guys enjoy. This has been the Jewelers Live podcast. My name's Mega, joined by Trade, Dags. We'll see ya.
Good night.
Peace.
DeFi Kingdoms.